since Coach Elliott got there, a couple years ago, one of the big buzzwords has kind of been building competitive depth, especially in the receiver room. Right now, how much drop-off do you feel there is from, maybe guys at the head of the pack to, throughout the room?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't say there is no drop-off. I feel like this is one of the best receiver groups that's been through UVA in a long time on paper. And I feel like, if we just work hard every day and keep striving to be the best position group, we can be the best group on the field physically.
For you, Greg was kind of talking about in this day and age, some guys after a down year could, want to go into the portal or, try their chances somewhere else. When you see these other guys coming into the receiver room in the off season, kind of what is your feeling and how do you kind of take that challenge?
It just brings in a healthy competition, just makes me go harder. What's life without competition? There's going to be competition everywhere you go. So I just feel like, just accepting that there's going to be competition and just pushing each other to be a better group together is the most challenging thing for me, I would say.
And last thing is just with Malachi, coming off of one of his best years there, what's his next step and what have you seen from him?
I would just say his next step is just taking on a bigger leadership role, and for myself as well, kind of being the older guys in the group, being some experience, playing on the field some time. I feel like just the wisdom and knowledge he brings, that's just the leadership aspect, just to have the group follow his lead suit and just, all be great together as a whole.
Hey JR, how's it going?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. You heard Coach Mims, I don't know if you did actually, but he said that you had the best off season coming into this spring. What was different for you this off season?
Just being out last year, I didn't have really the season I wanted. I just kind of went and just, did some self-diagnosis and just really determined what I wanted to be for the new year. And just every day, I just been trying to be the best version of myself every day and just be in competition with myself. And I just realized if I'm the best version of myself, everything will fall into line for me.
What were some of the areas that you felt like you needed to focus on heading into this year?
I would just say, just focusing more on football, just cutting a lot of outside things, just devoting more time into the sport and just, really loving the sport.
What type of changes have you already seen from yourself out in the field?
I'm playing faster. I'm able to just recognize offenses better. Just the little things I enhanced on is starting to show up, and I feel like that just comes with growth and maturing as a whole. So I just feel like I have more of a different mindset going into the season than I did the other past 2 years of being here.
And I was going to say, I feel like this is the first off season that you guys under Elliott has had where you guys have been coming into the spring and you were able to do the normal schedule. How's that helped you guys heading into the spring practice?
Man, it's doing really good. It kind of helps our bodies too, being that a lot of stress. But I would just say getting a real good regimen of the spring and just having everything flow at a good constant rate, it makes everything so smooth and just a smooth transition.
And final question for me, there's a lot of newcomers in this receiver room, the transfers, and you got Cameron Courtney. Has anyone stand out? What would you say about these guys that are coming in for the first time?
I would say all the incomers, add a great depth and competition. Guys like Trell Harris, Andre Green, Chris Tyrese, some names to name. They've been showing their flashes of what they can do. So I just feel like it's great to see some new faces and just see them make plays and just have some help along with the offense.
Yeah, going off of Jackie's question, Mim said he really emphasizes closeness to you guys. Other than, playing together, what are some things that you and your teammates do maybe to bond in the wide receivers?
Recently, we just all went out as a receiver group to get food. So I just feel like doing outside things together really brings in the camaraderie. Football is one of the biggest team sports, and, you have to depend on somebody to do their job just so you don't get hurt. So I just feel like, if you really have that trust for your brother, you're going to do everything for him. And that comes a long time, having new faces, just merging. It's always a little... I don't know if we're going to get along, but I just feel like it's been a great transition, and I have great friends and new receivers in the room.
Yeah, and what are maybe some of the challenges of building a close bond to guys who are also part of your competition as well?
I would say that, just it's nothing really to take personally. It's just competition comes with it, and I just say that aspect, makes each other better. You made a play, let me go make a play. So I just feel like that type of mindset. It's just, having that competitive mindset is going to be good for yourself individually and the group as a whole, the team. If we're constantly trying to uplift each other, outdo each other, it helps the team more than yourself.
Yeah, and I guess last one for me, how has Mims kind of helped in all of this and, creating camaraderie and have you seen him kind of grow now as he's in his second year as,
it was a lot of ups and downs last year, being that it was his first year. You kind of trying to take things from other people, do your own thing. So I feel like now, he's kind of really settled his spot as a real coach now. And, he encouraged us to do things together. He talks to us as a group. We do little things as a side. So I just feel like the little stuff and just really building a real team was going to help us have an upside season this year.
Hey, JR. I was going to ask you, how frustrating was it last year? Because as a freshman, you showed some flashes, right? And then I'm sure you expected to kind of have a little bit more of a breakout season last year. How frustrating was it? And do you have any reason why maybe things didn't click as what you would have liked them to?
It was very frustrating, but, for the reason that it had things to do with myself and things I could have done better. At the end of the season, I self-reflected, and instead of complaining or wanting to hit the portal, I really just looked at myself and realized, what can I do better to make a better version of me? And, that's just what I've been harping on this all season. What can I do? It's not what everybody else is doing. It's just, when you focus on yourself and dial in, I feel like yourself is your biggest enemy, and that's where I was kind of having problems with last year. I was self-doubting myself, contradicting myself, wondering if I could do this thing. And, the 2024 year, I really just realized, like, I'm going to just let loose and just do what I have to do and handle business. So that's just how 2024 has been going for me.
I was going to say, do you have a better understanding of what Coach Mims is asking you? I know, the first year, obviously, Coach Hagans was still around.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a better idea of what Coach Mims wants out of you now?
Yeah, as long as, like, at the end of the season, we had a one-on-one and just realized, like, he just made me realize, like, if this is what you really want, you'll make a change in your actions and your play style. And, that really hit home, and it made me think, because it made me question, do I really want to do this? And my actions have changed, and, I'm just planning to keep on an uprise.
Gotcha. And how's the relationship with the two quarterbacks so far, with Calandria and Tony?
Oh, it's going great. I feel like we're going to have even better connection this year, and just I'm very excited, bro. I like the group we have. I like the guys we do. I like the work we put in. I feel like the offense really revolves around us, and we have to show up every day and make plays. And if we do that, we'll be in a good direction.
And then, how many receivers do you think you guys could end up playing this year?
I'd say 6, 7 in that kind of number. I feel like the drop-off isn't very deep, and just the more receivers you play, the more healthy you are, and the better for us as an offense, being that you try to keep a tempo offense going. So fresh legs, fresh body is explosive plays.
The last one for me, what'd you learn last year? First full ACC season playing, week in, week out. What'd you learn about just the grind of a college football season and what it takes to get through it?
I learned that he's a dog, and he can make some very big plays. And, I also learned that, taking care of your body plays a huge factor. Throughout the season, I felt my body getting deteriorated a lot. And, that's something I want to focus on this year too, is just my recovery and just being in the best shape as possible to do what I got to do.